We have a lot of same-sex couples who want to go to Italy and live there. Now, does Italy recognize marriages between same-sex couples? What would your recommendation be for a same-sex couple who wants to go over, purchase property, and retire there? How would you recommend they go about it?
So it is very important to get their same-sex couple. Depends if it is a marriage couple or not. Obviously, if it is a married couple or not. If it is a married couple, definitely make sure to have your marriage certificate, get the apostille as you were referring to earlier, get a certified translation, and make sure to when you engage with the notary who will be certifying your purchase, make sure that the notary is on board on certifying the purchase as a purchase of a married couple. And especially if for you it is important that the purchase it is under the community of matrimonial property, meaning it is purchased jointly as a family property. Some notaries were challenging this option because Italy doesn't have does not acknowledge, does not recognize, does not permit same-sex couple marriages. So for the first couple of cases that we had to fight a little bit with some notaries, but eventually they agreed with our point of view, and especially after Italy passed the law acknowledging and accepting civil unions between same-sex couples. So about 3 years ago, Italy finally gave this opportunity to same-sex couples to kind of formalize, make official their relationship, their union. So although marriages are not, same-sex couple marriages are not allowed, civil unions between same-sex couples are allowed. And under the laws of civil unions, when you buy a property within a civil union, you can opt for the property to be purchased jointly as a family property. So because of this similarity and analogy, even foreign married couples basically are treated for property purchase purposes the same way as Italian same-sex couple who are in a civil union, in a formalized civil union. So that is very important. And also, if you are in a same-sex couple marriage, you can take advantage of some incentives, or let's say privileges that are set for couples when applying for elective residence visa. And because applying as a couple, some of the requirements are reduced in terms of thresholds or like the financial resources, things like that. And or if one of the two spouses wants to go first to Italy and then let the other spouse come in, the other spouse could go in instead of under an elective residence visa, under a family reunion visa, which would be different and would allow the spouse to keep working. Because as we know, the elective residence visa doesn't allow to work, at least for the first year.
That's right. Okay. It doesn't allow you to work for the first year. I have a couple questions that just bubbled up in my head. So basically a civil union, do they recognize civil unions in the US, or do you have to go get a civil union over in Italy as well?
So if you are in a civil union in the US, if you have the documents confirming that, they will be totally acceptable in Italy as well. You don't have to be certified in Italy. You just can register in Italy your civil union that you have in the US, you register that in Italy. If you have, which sounds odd and counterintuitive, if you have a foreign marriage as a same-sex couple, you cannot record that marriage in Italy, though. You have to record it as a civil union in Italy, because there is not the equivalent in Italy. Right? The equivalent of a same-sex couple marriage in Italy is same-sex couple union, unfortunately. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes total sense. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, now another question that came up, you said for the elective residence visa, you are not able to work. I thought you could never work again once.
Good, good. Yeah, exactly. You can never work. However, about 6 weeks ago, the Italian government issued a new immigration regulation under which, yes, I know, under which basically um, another crazy new turn in their policies. Now, after you have had your elective residency for 1 year, at the time of renewal, and sometimes even earlier than that, you can convert it into actually you get the visa, then you get the permesso di soggiorno, the permit to stay. Once you get the permit to stay, that is an elective residency permit to stay, and then after you have had it for a while, a year or even less, you can convert it into a work permit to stay, which is very new, a very new policy, and that changes completely the scenario, because elective residence visa was for people who never had to work, and as you probably know, in Italy, unemployment rate is extremely high. So the immigration policies are very protective for, so many political reasons. So elective residence visa was, okay, you have resources to go to Italy, but you don't have to compete with the Italian workforce. Now you can. Yeah.
That is a total game changer, because the digital nomad thing is huge. And I was all over these digital nomad sites, and basically, the digital nomads that I know, the guys that can work from anywhere, spend 3 months in Italy and off they go. And a lot of guys that are contacting me are going, look, I can work from home, especially after COVID, because after COVID, all these companies went, you got to work from home, figure it out, and they did. Like Pete's a great example. He can work from home, doing what he does. And so if all you need is to just have enough resources to get by for a year, and then you can do your digital nomad thing forever. A lot of younger people, families and things, like we can just pull them all over into our cute areas in Calabria and Puglia and all these places.
Totally.
Ideal place for families to grow up. And it's always been just a bitter pill for me that I couldn't bring families over, because they got to work. So this is a game changer.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is definitely.
Yeah.
And they came up with other new measures. Yeah, it's definitely, there are so many things that are changing, and yes, it's good to keep up with all the new rules that come out, because there's also always an exception or a new little twist, a new little leverage you can use, little tool. Most people who contact us, they are not, and I'm thankful for them that they contact us, because they tell us, I know that this and this happens, and I'm desperate. Say, well, there's this little thing that just came up. So yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's like, Pete's motto in life, his words that he lives by is, there's always a workaround. And that's what I tell people about you. I go, look, there's always a workaround, and Nick will find it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I am, as I shared, I'm not, I'm a lawyer, obviously, but I have done this for my family, for my children, for my wife, for myself. I acquired, another citizenship. I moved between countries. I invested in multiple countries. So I have a very, very practical approach to my profession, to my professional life. And so it's not just about law such and such of 1984 Article 3. It's about, really how to do things, how to resolve problems, and yeah.
Yeah, and the ways to go about it. That's really great. I have one other really goofy question, and somebody asked me this question, and it started to stick a little bit, because I was reading somewhere about Barcelona and the squatters there. Barcelona was a great place to have an Airbnb, but then people were running away because they're squatters. And once they're in, even for a few days, it's hard to get them out. And somebody said, is that the same in Italy? And I'm like, I've never heard of that. But I wanted to ask you just real quick, what about that? Is there a problem with that? Or can you just, like if you have an Airbnb and it's empty for half a year and somebody just moves in, do you have trouble getting them out in order to rent it again or whatever?
Yeah, it is a problem, and I know the question is you're quick, but the answer might take how long do we have? Yes, it's really yeah, it's there are certain awful stories.
Okay.
Even real estate agencies don't even want any more keys at their office because they have had situations where keys disappeared from the office and all of a sudden squatters were at places that had been advertised for sale.
Ah,
However, these of course are exceptions. um, we have had clients who had squatters move in when they had left Italy, but these are extremely rare cases that might happen. Desperate people do desperate things. So that might happen, and when that happens, you have several options depending on the situations. Our first suggestion is to go to the police, carabinieri, police, because sometimes just a quick visit, with the uniform will do it.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
If that doesn't work, though, it might get ugly. It might get ugly for a number of reasons. Now, our second shot, which usually works, although stinks, is to settle. Say, hey, we'll help you out, move out, perhaps even a first month rent somewhere else, and you throw a couple of $1,000s at them and get rid of the problem, because legal fees and stress and all the rest will be much worse, and you don't want to get into it. So, and it is not, once again, it happens so extremely. It's not a thing. It's not something that happens.
Okay.
And however, nowadays it's so easy to install alarm systems.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I just moved here and I got the alarm system installed within a couple of hours. Everything is wireless. It's connected with a GP, what is it, like SIM card, cell phone card? Yeah, it's all like they plugged it in, they came in. They didn't even do holes in the wall because everything is stickers and magnets. It's amazing.
Oh, that's
And
fantastic.
it's so cheap. It was so cheap. It was like $300 one installation fee, and then it's like $30 a month.
Oh,
But you have cameras and everything, and and so at the end of the day, that's what we recommend. Is we recommend alarm system and surveillance. We also recommend surveillance. The metro. Are you familiar with the Metronotte? Like the private police that usually have a license to patrol areas, patrol homes of people who sign up and subscribe to be patrolled. Yeah.
Okay.
Usually they charge $30-$40 a month, but they are available for emergencies, even medical emergencies. It's kind of having your private police serving you, and it's. If I had a home in a remote area, country area, I would definitely do it. And actually, my parents had a house in the countryside, and they had the private police. And it was fantastic because when the alarm would go off, they would go there and say, "No, just the window. Who cracked it a little bit open? We closed it. It's all fine."
Wow.
It's
That's actually
nice.
That's really great, because I have been counseling people like, look, if you're going to go live there, that's one thing, but if you're going to have a vacation house, don't get in the country, because they've got 6 months of the year to back their van up and empty your house of all of its contents. And that has happened not only in Italy, but in France and Spain. Holiday homes are targeted. And, in the Centro Storico, when you got all the nonnas there and everybody knows you, it's a different thing. But when you're out in the remote areas, that is a great plan to have something like that, to where you get advance notice and then you can just get right on it. That's fantastic.
Yeah, we used to have a house in the countryside, as I said, and I remember it got broken in a couple of times, and then my parents put in this Metronotte surveillance membership, and with a very basic alarm system. And within minutes, when we would go there and by mistake forgot to turn off the alarm, and the alarm would go off, within 2-3 minutes, their car will get there, and it was so nice to know to be protected and under the wing of somebody watching for you. That it would, and for the cost, to me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, a total no-brainer, especially, if you have your place and it's, yours, or even a rental place.
100%.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's
Yes.
fantastic. Oh my gosh, that's a game changer too. So many game changers today. Thank you.
You're
It's so
welcome.
exciting. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time, but this is pure gold. Everything that you've given me is just wonderful stuff. Information that we need to know, stuff I've been wanting to know, the services that you offer. This is just fantastic. I'm actually getting happier and happier as we talk, because I'm going, okay, maybe
Awesome.
we can stay there for longer than 3 months this year. We really have to get a lot done. So we'll be contacting you on that. And then, of course, we have some business things that we need to discuss with you, and some liability issues that we want to make sure are resolved before, we're getting into whole different lines of business right now. So we need to get
Good for
everything
you.
covered. Yeah, it's really been fantastic, and you've been a great, great help. So
Thank you.
yeah. Is there anything else that you want to say before we end off our interview here?
Well, it's been very nice talking with you as usual, and I really, really enjoy sharing not just information, uh, but what I consider knowledge, meaning not just the raw data, the raw rules, but more it, the knowledge of how that information actually applies or applied to so many cases we worked on, and more as an experience, really, point of view. And having lived in Italy for so many years, having lived in the US for so many years, and having a practical approach, I like sharing. I love sharing. So please, whenever you have any questions, or if you have more questions from your viewers, feel free to share them, and I'll be more than happy to give some more of this type of share some more of this type of knowledge, and even wisdom, if you want to call it that way. Because at the end of the day, when you see that people have successful results after applying this type of knowledge to their cases over and over again, then it becomes, in my opinion, wisdom.
Yeah, oh, totally, totally. That's fantastic. Well, we so appreciate you sharing all of that with us and with our guys. I mean, like I said, this is pure gold, and I'm sure they're going to be sitting there with their notepads and their pencils out. I would, if I were, and I might do that as
Absolutely.
well.
Well, if I may, we post on our website and on our social media, especially LinkedIn and Facebook, some of this information every now and then. Now, during this video, I've shared information that we had not shared ever at all, as I said. So, because there's so much to every day coming up, that we don't have just we don't have the time. Of course, we prioritize our clients, our paying clients, and so, but we share information. But like the information about the visa that came up a couple of weeks ago, we shared it on our LinkedIn page. So my recommendation would be to obviously follow us, and for people who don't do that yet, and so that they can be posted on when something new comes up, which might refer to their specific circumstances and case.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. In fact, I'm going to put your contact information and your website in the details here. I love your blog. I'm always referring to your blog to answer questions. It's really, really good. And I didn't know you had a Facebook page. Oh my gosh, I'm so going to get on it. Can you send me a link to your Facebook page and a link to your LinkedIn?
Absolutely.
And we'll make sure everybody can find you. And that is going to be fantastic. I mean, to have access to these changes and how they affect things is going to be amazing. So we really appreciate that.
Perfect. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. I really
Okay.
appreciate that. Definitely, definitely. And yeah, absolutely. We, as I said, we there are so many people who uh, from our post get enough information to go on their own, and that's perfect. We're more than happy than that. We see on our stats only very small fraction of people contact us for for their needs. That tells us a lot. That tells us, and many people tell us, they write us, this is not to ask for services, just to say thank you so much for the content you have because it helped me so much. And we are so happy, we are very happy. I wish I knew what I know now when 10 years ago I brought my wife from the US to Italy and I had to get her first permesso di soggiorno, first immigration card. Yeah. Man, it was such a nightmare. Nobody knew, not even in the immigration office, how to treat an American. It was obviously in southern Italy. Like, they didn't know how to open a bank account to an American and things like that. Yeah. I wish I knew. So that's my goal, to share so that more people can know and get an easier way pursuing their dream of living in Italy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Oh, great. Okay, good. All right. Well, that's all we have for today. I don't want to keep all your time. You've given us so much great information. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Chris. Have a good one.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
Nick. Bye.